Ctrl Games coming to you live from our race car bed.
Got to be nation.
Do they still do those? Got to be Glued Nation.
I said got to be nation. Signing out. Last time.
We're back with the ruins stage of Donkey Kong Country Returns HD. We're going into the wonky waterway, Matthew.
Wonky.
You got me with the got to be. I wonder if they're still around too. I used to buy that.
Gamer Nation.
You remember when spiking your hair was the thing? Now mullets are coming back, so I think it's just a cyclical.
Oh, here's the cool transition. We're leaving
that,
the waters.
Yeah, I will say.
Oh, you didn't jump. Like I couldn't see.
Look at your face, just gradually getting more sad.
Well, I think it doesn't. You don't lose a life.
Oh, nice. We gotta
I don't
incorporate
think
that.
anyway.
I'll say what I said in a million years ago when we first played this game. I think there should be like a full level that is like gradually bringing you from the beach to the ruins, you know? Like that'd be neat. I got an idea. Every time we use the blowing mechanic, we say, thank you, Miyamoto. Arigato, Miyamoto. Arigato, Miyamoto. It's a funny thing about him. He's sometimes he has the most genius ideas, you know? Like DK's tie, where he just... Rare was getting ready to do Donkey Kong Country, and they're like, you know, asking Miyamoto, what do you think we should do? And he just faxes him over a picture and decides, like, oh, tie would be cool. Just, like, changes Donkey Kong forever via fax. Via a fax to doodle. One of the most, like, iconic parts of the character and brand. And then sometimes he has ideas like, hey, let's turn this into a Star Fox game. There's an animal in this. This could be Star Fox. Star Fox Dinosaur Planet.
Why couldn't I jump left?
You know, so it's a funny thing. Very funny thing.
Did those pillar guys, they were in Tropical Freeze, right? In like the last world.
Oh yeah. Yeah, but just like because the last world is Donkey Kong Country. Which is funny because Donkey Kong Country Returns would be the...
Oh, what? I couldn't control when it fired out of the barrel.
Which leads me to my idea for the third one, Donkey Kong Country Returneth Again. He returns to... Hear me out, Matthew. Donkey Kong Country Returns is about DK and Diddy going back to all the locations
Why couldn't I duck?
from the famous Rare games. And so they're like kind of remixed versions of all the Rare games on Super Nintendo. Donkey Kong Country Returns would be incredible. They could even add Professor Chops. That's the pig for you guys who don't know. His name is Professor Chops. Oh man, I was trying to jump on your back. Okay, we got this. We got this.
Oh.
Worth it.
Do you know the Tropical Freeze King K. Rool reference in Grassland Groove when there's a rock that resembles like a dino-looking head or like crocodile, whatever, and then the banana cluster appears as a crown? Like when you make the banana cluster appear. Oh gosh, the camera.
I do not know that.
Felt like the camera was kind of like jiggling.
Let me show you how it's done, Matthew. Just kidding. I'll show you how it's done with this jetpack.
Nope. Nope.
Do you know that to get those Easter eggs in the game, they had to clear every one of them with Nintendo?
So they had to clear the King K. Rool one?
Unless they snuck it in there, which would have been a big no-no.
I don't think there's any way it can, it could easily be passed off as something you wouldn't notice. So it's not like it was like the Metroid you find in the water level or Samus's ship in the bayou.
Going down the bayou.
No. I also love the idea of like some ancient Kong civilization thing.
Took a wrong turn there. Yeah, I think it's hard to decide. You know, this game does go pretty vanilla in terms of like what kinds of things, but the details in them are so good.
I wouldn't even say like
being
vanilla,
in the ruins.
but...
Well, just like nothing like super zany.
Oh my gosh. That's where the bouncing thing. See, people think it only makes a difference in like a platforming level or whatever, but like, you see, I got hurt by the enemy because you jumped and landed on him first, so then I didn't have anywhere to land but in the other enemy. Wait, why didn't that work?
You have to wait for the gems to appear.
No, I know, but I did it the second time. Oh, what? Come on.
Remashing, or do you think you just kind of missed it by...
I thought I was pressing it like pretty immediately, but...
So that tie there that you saw on that monkey with the ruins...
He kicked me.
That's a reference to Billy Mitchell, the Donkey Kong guy who actually, you know, cheated and lied about his high score.
The Lance Armstrong.
But they could not be bothered to remove that from the game. That would take work.
Well, that's what I mean with these, like, and I don't even care about removing that. I just think that...
Oh, it's funny and indicative of the whole thing with this game. I wonder how the Luigi's Mansion port turned out.
I heard it was bad. The Luigi's Mansion 2.
Yeah.
Dark Moon, I heard it was bad. But that's what I mean is I just feel like I don't understand why they can't just use... Like, that's the same kind of thing with, like, we have Luigi's Mansion 3. Like, why can't we use assets from that game? Like, I understand it would take more work.
But it would also make it, like, such a worthy purchase.
I know, that's my point. Like,
I think you'd make the money back.
Oh.
Ooh, that was close. Woo!
Yeah, but that's what I mean is it's just like, dude, if this game, like, you gave me this game, but the characters look like they're from Tropical Freeze, it's like all of a sudden there's a totally different perception people have of this port. Even if the jumping mechanic was still messed up or other things, it's just, at least it's like, oh, you really did remake this in some fashion, you know? Like, I don't know. That's why I think remaster is such a like loose term now, because it's like, no, dude, it's just a port. Like, I understand you updated the textures a little bit, but
yeah, well, in the because you can kind of write whatever you want to on the box, that term has been so like watered down and run through the mud. Yeah, it's weird.
Well, that's why I said, like, Crash to me will always be like the you know,
Yeah, I would say that's the
Wait,
gold
what?
standard of a remaster.
Did we get a checkpoint?
Everything's kind of the same, but
Oh, he grabbed the barrel. How is that even possible? How is that possible? That's crazy. Why? Oh my gosh. Try moving. No, I meant like left.
Oh my gosh, dude.
Yeah, but yeah, I just think like to me like that's what I expect out of remasters is like, you know, when you look at the Crash Insane trilogy, and obviously it's PS1 to PS4, but I mean they really did like, it's like you're looking, or not like you are looking at a brand new game, and that's the thing. All the gameplay stuff with it is exactly the same as the original. You know, but people don't care because, like, it's like, dude, it's like I'm looking at a brand new version of this game. Like, that's why I'm like, nobody cares about playing the same exact game. Like, they'll deal with it, but at least give them, like, you know, new visuals to look at than what they got before. Oh, come on. When is one gonna... Of course it was the one that was too far away. It's funny because this part isn't even hard. It's just like I have to roll jump for that. Did you already get what was on the left?
No.
Oh, pfft.
That's what I was confused by. It didn't seem like there was a way to get there.
I figured you did.
Well, I got the G. I don't know if there's a... I assume there's a puzzle piece on the left-hand side, but I might just be misremembering.
Oh, I got there like pretty much as soon as you can. I love it when you don't get all the puzzle pieces, they just look at you.
Yeah, that's probably what we
You should be
missed.
sick. Or you should be ashamed of yourself. Hello. Okay, yeah, I'm still over.
Cranky running the shop doesn't make any sense.
Mast blast.
His whole role in this game series is simply to make fun of you. And that was
Yeah.
always funny. It was like your dad talking to you. Which always made sense. You know, your dad grew up on these NES games that were brutally difficult. Now you're playing these Super Nintendo games where you can, you know, just pick up where you left off. You don't have to start the entire game over when you get game over. What does game over even mean anymore?
Hey man, we got to thank our dad for loving Donkey. You know, it's funny because, like, it's weird. We grew up in the era of like video games were new to our parents' generation, you know, but like they thought they were really cool at the time, and then like I don't know what it was. It was by like the N64 era, so where then it was like, nah, video games are like a kid's thing. Like it's weird how like they went from being a thing that adults were like, oh, cool, to being like, nah, this is for children. So our dad used to like video games up until around like midway through the N64 PlayStation era. Yeah, we do this the cool way. Whoops.
I think what probably happened
Ooh.
with him, honestly, is what's happening to me. I don't play games much anymore.
No, it's not the
Go
same.
go up
like, he
the
has
go
no...
up the hill. and jump at the top of the hill.
He has no interest in.
Oh my gosh.
Great.
The buttons. So I played this game entirely on a different control scheme for like the last decade, and now I've switched finally, and it's a bit of a mess.
Yeah, but anyway, I was saying we have our dad to thank because at least it's my opinion that Donkey Kong Country was our very first video game. Because we had games that were older than Donkey Kong Country, but it lines up from, we would have been, 3 years old when this came out or something.
Probably something there, but yeah, I don't know exactly what order, but definitely like...
Oh, whoops. I forgot this is like I think there was something to the right. But the earliest memories of video games I have are this. Like, I remember in England staying up.
Beating K. Rool.
I remember we stayed up and we watched our dad play Oil Drum Alley. That's the name of the first Creme Croc Industries level, right?
I think so.
Yeah. I remember that'll always be like a memory for me, but whatchamacallit. But it's like, man, without him, we wouldn't have been... who knows? We might not look at DK. Yeah, we might not, be interested in Peak like everyone else who's like, Mario. Mario. Which it's like, it's funny, man. I feel like I'm only become this, like, Mario hater in a way because it's kind of like to use a sport. Credit. Yeah, it's like a sports analogy. It's like the reason I don't like LeBron is it's not that like there is like a lot of reasons I don't care for him other than him being overrated, but to me I just feel like in order for him to be good, it's like Jordan and Kobe have to be bad, these other guys whatever.
I got it.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I think we did this last time we played too. Oh, we could have just did that. But yeah, it's just Mario is like, for me, it feels like there's just better stuff, but everybody tells you it's the best.
It is.
And on top of that, what's the other thing? It's also that, like, yeah, then people want other games to be more like Mario. Like, a lot of criticisms for this back in the day were that it's not more like Mario, and it's like, dude, you're crazy. You're right. It's better.
I remember like a Tropical Freeze review that was like just lamenting this game, and it was really funny because, their base criticism is like they like how the physics work in Mario and not in this, which is like, that's fine and fair enough. Like just say that, It's just like, what do you think about Mega Man? Just totally wrong.
Oh, dude, there was some weird like Nintendo loyalty. Do you remember those articles that like after Rare got bought out by Microsoft of like calling like the Kremlings like terrible enemies and all this other stuff? And
I think it's the gaslighting, and I just didn't even think he deserved to be in Smash Bros. In the Brawl days.
Yeah, which is insane to me that you were a huge Donkey Kong fan and thought that, but I just think to me like, I'm sorry, dude. Like, call me biased, but I've always felt like the Kremlings were way more thought was put into them, and they were way cooler than, like, anything I've seen from Mario. And it's not even close. Like, I'm sorry, dude. Goombas and Koopas versus, like, Clump and Crusha and stuff, like, I'm sorry, dude. Like, even just the little, like, things you don't even notice in this... there's, like, stuff, I think. But even the little minute details, like just seeing like in the first, hold on, we need a barrel.
I was thinking it was over there.
But just even like the little details of like, you notice in the first game, like I didn't notice it until somebody made this YouTube video about like how, like in the first game, they kind of represent like a military because there's like little insignias they have on like Clump's helmet, for example. And I'm like, there's actually like, just like, thought that's put into this. Then you look at like Donkey Kong Country 2 and all the different like pirate motifs they represent and stuff like that. Like I don't know, man. It's like you can't like, again, I'm probably biased, but I just don't think anything I've seen in a Mario game, especially back then, was even close. Like that's why I'm like, the fact that you guys are like Mario people, and hold on, I'm trying to ride these up all the way to the top because make sure there's no like Kong letter that you jump for or anything.
The Kong letters are usually out in the open. More of a challenge to get them than a secret to find, which is good. Like that, you know, just a little challenge along the way.
But even like, I mean, honestly, man, like, I mean, Bowser's super cool. Don't get me wrong, but I like K. Rool more than Bowser. I mean, the only thing with K. Rool I'd probably change is his name. I will admit the name is kind of silly, but Rare also meant for it to be silly. Like, I mean, you know, if they like made that name and they're like, nah, dude, that's just a really cool name, then I would look at it different. But you know, that's not the case. So
yeah, you know what the K stands for?
Cruel.
Nothing.
Spelled wrong.
Doesn't stand for anything.
I thought it's supposed to be that it's cruel.
Right. Well, so that's the, you know, that's the shtick, is that it spells out cruel, but the K in K. Rool, they don't know. Like, you know, it was a guy who just, one of the guys at Rare just spent 5 minutes naming him. He said he probably if he had any more time to think about it, he probably would have thought of something.
The funny thing about it, though, is that, like, K. Rool just, like, rolls off the tongue, man. It really does just, like, work, even though it's kind of silly. Like, when you just say it, like, K. Rool, it's like, that sounds good, you know? Like, yeah, I mean, it really does.
It's fun. It's, like, peak cartoon character design. But, you know, they were actually supposed to be from a different game. This, like, pirate-themed game that, that Rare was working on. And they,
I thought it was Battletoads. I could have swore they said they were enemies for Battletoads.
It was this, the title was, like, something in the Kremlings. Because it, like, yeah, it really had them, like, as the central antagonist for this, but they eventually just moved them over to Donkey Kong. Which, like, yeah, I mean, they kind of fit. I mean, in, like, for your average Kremling, like,
yeah, I
don't
love,
have
like,
a whole lot of attachment to, like, the underling Kremlings. You know, they're fine. They were way
like,
cooler in Donkey Kong Country 2 than 1. I'll say that much.
But my thing is like, but does anyone in any game Michael? You know, it's funny. I've been good about not getting the let's right into the
you've
top.
Stolen at least 3 from me.
Yeah, but I mean, for the most part,
it's an age-old tradition. Just whoever has 2 carts gets the hearts. Can use me as a shield.
But I just think, like, who has any attachment to, like, the very common enemy in, like, any game? And that's why I said, like, to me, like, again, Mario, like, Koopas, Goombas. Like, the only reason those
Goombas
stand out to
neat.
you... No,
I like Goombas.
They're
Koopas, you got me. They're just turtles that walk. But Goombas
they're just
are
mushrooms
cool.
with eyes.
Yeah, I mean, they're neat.
I don't like Goombas at all. I think they're terrible. But I think the only
some
reason,
of
like,
the other ones,
Mario
like
enemies stick
Hammer
out to
Bros.
people more is because they've been there's so many Mario games that have been made, so you see them all the time, so they give you, like, this iconic factor, you know. But on their own, like, I don't know, man, you compare, like, the most basic Kremling to, like, a Goomba or a Koopa, like, I don't know, man.
I mean, yeah, I think that the Mario one, I mean, they're going for something different, and that's where, like, that's why I think they're deathly afraid to, like, fully combine DK and Mario, and why they'll never do it is because they're just going for different things. There's a certain, like, simplistic charm that Mario goes for, whereas Donkey Kong is about atmosphere and immersion. And so, you know, I think they're just kind of going for different things. But I will say, I mean, you know, it depends on the Mario enemy. I mean, like, there are some very, like, fun, iconic ones, like the Hammer Bros. Shy Guys
Hammer
are
Bros
neat.
are cool. Yeah, I mean, I think Hammer Bros, Shy Guys are cool.
The
but
Flying Turtles.
My whole thing, though, is that I'm just saying, though, when you, like, try to, because of the Rare buyout, you try to act like Rare's enemies were, like, dumb and, you know, boring and, like, basic. And, like, I forgot all the stuff the person said, but I'm like, dude, I'm sorry, man. You can't say that stuff to me and then, like, praise Mario on another hand. Like, I just, that's where you lose me. If you just think Kremlings are bad, sure, but, like, you know, I don't know, dude. I just feel like you could give me, like, the same amount of Mario enemies and I could find you so many that are, like, completely forgettable. And the thing is like, you know, like I said, for Kremlings, for like all the basic ones, there's really cool ones. I think claptraps are great enemies. I think in the second game, like the ones that slide down the ropes, was it the third game? I think the ones with like the helicopter heads. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
The ones with the bazookas. Like, there's all kinds of cool stuff that I'm like, I don't know, man. These guys are cool.
Yeah, they're fun. The only Mario game I would agree with you on is Super Mario World. Did not like those ones.
Oh yeah, just those like random
weird,
like purple dinosaurs.
The weird dragon where you jump on him and he doesn't have a head anymore.
Plus, like, I'll say this, like, underrated thing is Mario enemies
tomatoes,
are like annoying.
the angry tomatoes.
Mario enemies were also like annoying to fight, like dry bones and stuff. Like, I don't know, boos, you know, things like that. It's like, these aren't even fun, dude. Like, they're just kind of annoying. Like,
leave Mario alone.
The most annoying enemy in the first country game would probably be what, like, fighting Crusher with Diddy Kong because
half
you
of
can't.
them, the armadillos with Diddy Kong.
Yeah, but that's what I like about that game.
Clump with Diddy Kong.
Yeah, well, Clump, but you just cartwheel him. But I think that stuff actually made it interesting because obviously Diddy Kong has better movement options than Donkey Kong, but Donkey Kong's stronger. He can jump on those enemies and take them all out. But Diddy Kong, you know, he has to get creative. And I actually think it's a really cool thing. I mean, I always play Donkey Kong, so, you know, but I always liked that they tried to make...
I tried, dude.
They tried to make the characters different, you know? Oh.
There's a casual example of the multiplayer problem. I guess I could have done that in the middle. I thought I had to like kind of maneuver. I like how they're puzzle pieces that you collect. Feels like a Banjo reference. I think you can just jump.
You could have got that.
I tried to do the pop gun with the R button.
Can these guys be defeated with the...
No, but they could be stunned, I'm sure. I'm trying to figure it out.
I don't think these guys do get stunned. The ground pound doesn't either.
Oh no.
They're just tenacious. Yeah, honestly, though, the truth with video game enemies, though, is I feel like most games have pretty, like, forgettable, for the most part. Hold on, I want to see if, I want to see if you can get up there.
Man, I like teleport to you. That's crazy.
Yeah, I love that little trick.
Yeah, just jump and grab.
Yeah.
Just to demonstrate.
It's Marth and
just
melee.
like, yeah, that's wild, dude. Why?
Yeah, I'm trying to think of other platformers that have, I mean, Yoshi's are basically just Mario. I think Kirby has cool enemies, even though they're all kind of... It's funny with Kirby is like, everything in Kirby has like the same kind of look. Like there's so many enemies that
For
just
Kirby,
look
it's all
like
about
Kirby.
the mini bosses. The mini bosses have so much character. Bugsy, Mr. Frosty, Bonkers.
Yeah, Bonkers.
It's all about the mini
Yeah,
bosses.
Bugsy's cool too. Even though he's just like a beetle, but it's
just a beetle.
The way he
Hold
operates.
your tongue. He's got neat shoes.
All right, so yeah, you can play this.
Oh man, here's my Rambi.
so funny how like serious he looks to it. He's
Oh, that was neat timing.
oh, oops, sorry. See, I'm like OCD. I have to get rid of every single little spike.
You know, I was once like you.
There's a platform like right, I saw it. Right there it is.
They did a great job with Rambi in this game. He feels like so powerful.
Yeah, he's fun to play. He just looks silly. You know you can use the jetpack, right?
Yeah.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah, it's funny. He looks better in the Lego version, like as a Lego block. Which this is also the only game they referenced for the Legos. There was a slight reference to Tropical Freeze and Funky being a character in his whole plane shop, but that's it. The rest of it is literally this game. So if I was Nintendo, I feel like I would want to have like made this like an incredible remaster, but they did not. They did not.
It's so funny to see him riding Rambi by himself. You're not this this thing.
We get everything? All right.
You remember it used to make that sound effect on the Wii remote, the little enemy hitting?
Yeah. The Wii remote speakers, man.
You remember in Brawl when you would select a character and it would make like a battle cry or something through the Wii remote?
Yeah.
For like the 7 people that played that game with the Wii remote? Gosh, that'll be the funniest thing on like how the only reason people will not move on from the GameCube controller in Smash is because of Brawl. Because, like, you just had to introduce something, because they're like, there's no way you can play this game like this. It just will be ridiculous. So they're like, oh, well, we got the GameCube, you know, port, so you'll just play it that way. And then people are just like, nah, dude, I gotta play Smash like this. Which is funny, because, like, I play every Smash game with the GameCube controller, but it's like I could play Ultimate with the Pro controller, or I could have played Smash 4 with like their Pro controller, you know. But that's what I just need. Like, listen, I really hope with the new Switch that they sell the normal controller with the system. I know they won't, but I just hate that I have to buy like a normal video game, and especially with the Switch, the Pro controller is like one of the best controllers I think that's ever been made. It really is fantastic. It's exactly what I want out of a video game controller. And it's like, just, you know, include it in the system, please. Please.
Nar. Mm-hmm. Man, you know what else Retro Studios would totally knock out of the park is a new Wario Land.
Oh, sorry, go ahead. Oh, turn around. Oh!
Yeah, we have to stay away from each other in this part, or in this boss battle.
I got him. trying to put the fire out.
That's so wild. What happened?
Oh my gosh.
I don't even know what's happening anymore with the.
It's just because every button does one thing.
That
So-
drives me absolutely nuts with game design. Like they think it makes it more simple, but it makes it way more difficult.
Oh, those fires look terrible. That's like an N64 fire. I still love the little. And then it's just. Oh, like it's like it, like muted the sound effect, man. Worst port ever.
Yeah, I
It
heard
used
some
to
of the
just be
sound
a,
mixing
like a
was messed
one.
up.
It just used to be a one like one hit.
Yeah, weird. Spent untold numbers of dollars on the theme park. Can't spend a dime on the port. Oh, it's still fun though. I'm having a good Ctrl Games time. So join us next time as we continue with Donkey Kong Country Returns High Definition.
As we explore cave.
Cave.